Welcome to Cow Talks. I'm Chris Pravat.
And I am Marcelo Valau, Forage Extension Specialist with the University of Florida.
And this is our podcast, where we dive deep into the main topics affecting livestock and forage production in the southeastern United States.
From the mainstream media to new technologies straight from our research stations.
From cattle prices to international trade.
From our pastures and beyond.
Join us on this journey as we tackle the main issues affecting our producers and the sustainability of our production systems.
Welcome again to our podcast. Appreciate you joining us.
Thanks, Marcelo. Thanks. It's always a pleasure to be here. I'm José Dubé. I'm professor of forage agronomy. I'm based here at North Florida Research and Education Center in Mariana. And I've been here since the last 10 years, since 2013. We are in 2023. That's 10 years, right, Marcelo?
10 years and a lot of progress. I'm very excited to be able to work with you, actually. And what we're going to discuss, what we're here to discuss today is one topic that is very dear to me and is one of my main extension areas, that is the integrated crop and livestock systems. Actually, a little bit beyond just the concept of integrated crop livestock system, which is the launching of the new tool called the Southeast Grazing Exchange.
First of all, I'd like to mention that this project is funded by FDEX, the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services in Florida, and the Office of Agriculture and Water Policy. So the idea behind is that we have lots of row crop land, more specifically around 400,000 acres here in North Florida. And most of the time, the row crops, which are typically cotton, peanut, some corn, they're harvested in October, and the land follows until April next year. So we think that this there are a lot of things that could be done during that time, and that's productive agricultural land, a lot of that under irrigation system that could be used somehow. This is also the prime time to put weight on cattle, because you can grow cool season forages, and animals typically gain at least 2 pounds per day just grazing those good forages. And also in terms of the environmental component, we figured that the cool season is the hotspot for nitrate leaching, which we know it's a problem here in North Florida. And by planting cover crops and grazing those cover crops, we have data showing that we reduce nitrate leaching. So it's a win-win. We could have promote the economic development of the region by, developing stocker operations or developing heifers that we have almost 1 million cows in Florida. We need to replace those cows, so we need to develop heifers. And also a lot of the cows that are weaned here, they go straight to the Midwest, but they could stop by it, in the Florida Panhandle to get some sheep gains and also promote economic development here, and also at the same time reduce nitrate leaching. The animals would allow, to plant the cover crop. They'll pay for the cover crop cost, and at the end still leave some money behind. And also it's a win-win for the row crop farmer as well. We have also data showing that grazed cover crop land also improves for example, the peanut yield in the next year. So that's important. And also have reports from farmers saying that they reduce their fertilizer costs by 30% during the cash crop phase. So all of those benefits, paying for the cover crop, leaving some fertility that will help the following cash crop, and also reducing environmental problems. I think it's just like converging everything for us. Okay, we need to develop something for this area during this time of the year.
That is correct. So just as a matter of perspective, considering the area in Florida, Georgia, and Alabama, which is where this project is starting, we have about 4.1 million acres of row crop, cotton, peanut, soybean, and corn especially, and about 3.9 million acres of those acres remain fallow during the winter. A risk to say that we can easily fit out the calf crop of all those states in this area. It's fantastic, the potential that we have here in putting weight in both in replacement heifers and stalkers before, as I said before, shipping them.
That's a great point,
east.
Marcelo. We actually included also Georgia and Alabama in our project because we think, whatever happens upstream, one of the main focus of FDEX is to reduce nitrate leaching. But we are discussing that whatever happens, in those states also can affect here the water quality in Florida. So we are doing for the tri-state region, which has a huge potential, as you said.
That is correct. So if we have so many benefits, both in production, we have increasing in potential increase in crop production, great animal performance, the opportunity to add and diversify. There is environmental benefits. We're still not seeing a lot of adoption of those systems. And we have been talking about those integrated systems for probably the better part of the last 3 decades in different forms, in sod-based rotation, and now more with winter grazing. Why are we not adopting as much as we can?
It's a great question. There are some barriers, I would say. At least here in Florida, most of the land is leased. So, long-term infrastructure investment like fences, perimeter fence, water troughs, and things like that, typically those leased farms for row crop, they don't have it. And folks leasing in a short-term contract, they don't want, to invest the money on that. So that's one of the issues. And of course, you need skills. You need a skill set. For example, if you're putting 2 folks to work together, which I think that's the best approach. You have the row crop farmer and the livestock producer working together. You have some successful stories showing that. But you need to have lots of skills on both sides. But it's relatively common to find good farmers here in the region, but you don't have as many livestock producers, that are used to do all the buying and selling and all of, the skills that you need for integrating those systems. But there are some folks that are doing that very successfully. So I think it's we also need to invest in the education of future generations of future farmers. Hopefully get some help from those folks that are doing that successfully and help us. I think it's going to be, like they say in Africa, it takes a village to make this work, but I think we can make it work. There are reasons why people are not doing this, but I think we can overcome those problems if you work together.
That's true. And actually is the topic, those barriers are the topic of a new project that we have been developing together to understand the socioeconomic benefits and incentives that are needed for the implementation of those systems. I also risk to say integrated crop livestock systems is a great way for the young generation that is interested in getting into the cattle business, does not have the money to afford equipment and land and all that, but would be willing to put effort and bring animals in and partner with some of the row crop farmers that have that cover crop that is set up for grazing. One interesting thing, Dubé, is that many people say, "Oh yeah, we don't have fences. We don't have fences." I'm very surprised because I'm recording this podcast here from France now when I'm a little work trip, and I was on a farm visit yesterday, and the sheep herder, this farmer, and he was putting sheep. Changing sheep from one paddock to the other, but the paddocks are not connected. And here the farmer goes with the sheep, just raises the poly wire, the electric fence wire, sheep goes under it. The dog round them up, just walking down the road through the middle of some wheat fields and get to the next paddock, no problem. I mean, we know it's risky, it's a different system, but it's very interesting how they do it here too.
You raise a great point, Marcel. I've been discussing that. Actually, last week we were discussing that, which is we have aging population of farmers, and a lot of the young folks, they don't stay in the rural areas because land is very expensive. They can't afford to buy land in a size that would fit, their their needs. So by integrating livestock into leased lands on cropland, it's a way to enter in the business and actually, have a good size operation by, just leasing cropland that folks are not using during the winter time. So that's a very important point, and that would be a great opportunity to bring younger farmers to the business.
Okay. So, Dubem, when you first brought to us the idea of a Tinder for farmers, we were laughing at you. And now here we are with this platform launched. So, do you want to tell us about a little bit about how it works, how this Tinder for farmers work?
Yeah, that's good. It's like a dating app, right? Where you need to put together folks that are planting cotton, peanut, with folks that are raising livestock or in the livestock business somehow, and and sometimes you have a neighbor, you just talk to the neighbor and you solve that problem. But sometimes you're new in the area, or you don't know as many people, or nobody really knows what you're trying to do, and so we're not reinvented the wheel. This system is already across different states. It's in North Dakota, New Mexico, Canada, California, different places where you can pinpoint, create pins, and there are two options. You're either a livestock based, which means that you have livestock and you're looking for somebody that has some land, to allow you to use it, to graze it. Or on the other way, would be you're a land-based guy, which means that you're, a row crop farmer, or you have some land that you're not using that is available for grazing. So that would be a land-based guy. So then you can create your pin and put in the map. You just go in southeastgrazingexchange.com, and then there is an option to create an account. And whenever you create that account, you need to provide some information, but also say, okay, I'm a livestock guy and I'm willing to, to build temporary fences, or I'm willing to, to haul water or do whatever it thinks. You don't need to do those things, but if you think that's something that you could do, you can put there. And likewise, the land-based guy can do the same. Okay, I'm willing to plant the row crop. I'm willing to plant the cover crop for grazing, or I'm willing to help somehow with the cattle. Just put whatever you're up to, and then they contact each other after that, right? But in the website is also a hub for the information related to integrated crop livestock systems. So we're uploading educational materials, videos, or whatever we think is going to be helpful for persons that are trying to integrate crop and livestock.
Yes, the networking and the resources there. So who has access to this this website? And
everybody, it's open. I mean, you can go there and create your account and create your PIN, and then you look, and the good things that you see in your neighborhood. Okay, I have people here that I even didn't know that they were willing to partner, and I'm gonna talk to that guy. That facilitates a lot, that cooperation. That's why it looks like a dating app, right?
And that's true. No, I think the connection is extremely important. Putting people together. Many times, I think the limitation is either I don't want to do this, or I don't know who could do it. And now you don't need to do it. You don't need to put the fence up. You don't need to necessarily put the fence up. You don't need to take care of the livestock. You can just find someone that can be integrated with you. This is fantastic because it's what we call the integration in the landscape level. So going beyond the farm level, only the single farmer, and now we are going into the landscape. And this has an overall benefit, not only for those two farmers, but also for the general economy, environment, and society around this. So it's pretty interesting.
Yes, and we also have the folks from Alabama and Georgia that could participate. And I see here right now, we already have some pins, some in southern Alabama, others in North Florida. and those guys could partner as well together.
Our focus here, the idea was emerged from trying to get those crop folks, meaning specifically row crop guys and ladies, with the cattlemen, women, or other livestock that would be grazing during the winter. But do you see this tool being also expanded, or actually not even expanded because already set up, but being used by other types of production system, by other crops and other livestock species?
Yeah, I think it's open for everybody, Marcelo. Actually, this in California, I know one of the big focuses is because of the wildfires. So a lot of folks, they have, the rangelands and they didn't have even animals there. So, okay, what if I bring some animals to graze here, and that will reduce, the risk of fire. So that's one of the reasons. And I think here we can also have, folks that have land, but they're not really, even if they don't have row crops, but they have some grazing areas that they're not using, that could help as well, to use the land and also prevent wildfires. I think that's useful in that way too. So yeah, the sky's the limit. It's open there for business. So yeah, just need to spread the word so people know that we have that ability to do that. This website really helps to put together everybody that is interested in those things. And but we're just starting the project, and I think it'll be a great project.
That is fantastic. So just one more time, this is southeastgrazingexchange.com. And if you want more information about it, you can reach out to us. The link is going to be on the description of this podcast. And you can also look into our Forage team website for more information. That's programs.ifas.ufl.edu/forages. And you can find more information about this tool. Anything else you want to add about it?
No, just want to thank you for the opportunity to be here today. And if anybody wants, have some questions, just reach to you or to us. So anybody in the Forage team will be here to help.
That is great. And also thanks for FDEX, the Office of Agricultural and Water Policy, for supporting this and several other projects that are related to this one.
Thank you for joining us on this Cow Talks podcast. We hope you have enjoyed this conversation.
If you have any questions, ideas, follow-ups, or comments, please reach out to us through our email, forages@ifas.ufl.edu. That is forages@ifas.ufl.edu, or find us on our social media, uf.forages on Instagram, UF Forage Team on Facebook, or UF IFAS Forages on YouTube.